for watching ICANN TV newscast. Emerson Saffa reporting from Studio 1 in New York, and Zainab Moigua Kamara reporting in our Studio number 2 in Freetown. And now the headlines. Both joins Pujehun and Kailahun in 42 days no Ebola race. Okada riders on strike. Bo praises former executive assistant to President Koroma. President Koroma praises troops who return home from Somalia. The Door Christian Fellowship Church donated supplies towards the fight against the Ebola virus. A nurse scheduled to be married February 14 contracted the Ebola virus while treating patients. And now the news in detail. The District Medical Officer for Banth District, Dr. Kagbo Labor, confirmed to ICANN TV reporter that Banth District emerged as the third district to cross the 42 days Ebola-free race line. Stakeholders in all districts across Sierra Leone are now competing in the no Ebola race to defeating the Ebola virus disease at once. Dr. Kagbo Labor said the war against Ebola is won strategically in Banth, but they are not going to be complacent because the deadly virus is still roaming in other parts of the country, and until the whole country is declared Ebola-free, he maintained. He disclosed that Banth District Ebola Coordinating Team has instituted 3 strategies which include social mobilization, active case surveillance, and contract tracing. According to him, since the ban was lifted on the restriction of movement, the people have intensified more robust action on the Ebola chiefdoms by law. Sources of commercial Okada riders in the western area on Monday staged a peaceful strike following the enforcement of a code of conduct for Okadas, prohibiting them to ply certain routes in the central business district. The enforcement, which starts on the 1st of February, saw bike riders, mostly youths in their 20s, holding placards in their hands demanding the enforcement to be reviewed as it affects their daily earnings. The first point of call was at the Ministry of Youth Affairs, where the Deputy Minister, Madam Fore Musu Conteh, admonished them to be law-abiding and later led them to the Chief of Staff at State House for prompt intervention. The 4 pages Code of Conduct has routes which are prohibited and non-prohibited for commercial riders to ply. Dress codes, politeness, and road users registration and license, avoidance of obstructive behavior, enforcement and offenses, and penalty points. Bo District praises the former executive assistant to President Koroma, Dr. Sylvia Blyden, in the fight against Ebola. Honorable Maida Moiwa Momo was full of praises for the former special executive assistant to the president, Dr. Sylvia Blyden, who, despite her position, used her medical and media profession to raise the alarm for Ebola in Sierra Leone. We will be right back after the short break.
What happens when your electricity power is impromptu cut off? Are you suffering from continuous breakdown of your generator? Fuel crisis just drive you crazy. And the noise is so frustrating. Going solar is the solution. B-Box is now in town to solve these problems. B-Box is an internationally known solar company that exists in many countries in Europe, Asia, and Africa. B-Box provides high standard of solar installations and makes solar affordable by paying in installments. B-Box has a team of trained technicians to offer long-term maintenance. B-Box offers a range of solar kits to serve your needs from a one-bedroom accommodation to a normal family home. With B-Box, you are assured of reliable electricity, no noise and ease of use, and you never have to spend cash on fuel again. Contact us at 34 Wellington Street, Freetown, or call us on +232 76 101 015 or +232 77 000 829. Join the solar revolution.
Welcome back, and here are more details. President Anes Koroma praised Sierra Leone military troops who returned home after a long tour of duty in Somalia. Our able reporter Zaina Moigua Kamara has this to say.
From Freetown, Sierra Leone, welcome to ICANN TV News with me, Zaina Moigua Kamara. In our top stories, the President of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Anes Koroma, has paid glowing tribute to serving soldiers of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces who have returned home from peacekeeping duty in Somalia. The President, who addressed the soldiers of the 1st Battalion at the Peace Mission Training Center east of the capital, Freetown, said the soldiers have shown the world that they were a transformed force capable enough to contribute to world peace and security. He made reference to the overstaying of the troops in Somalia, an issue which was linked to the Ebola outbreak in the country that prevented the standby force here from replacing them. President Koroma told the soldiers of how he wrote letters to British, American and African Union authorities to ensure they return home. A group of Sierra Leoneans residing in the city of Milan in Italy, with the assistance of other Italian residents, over the weekend donated 2 ambulances and other medical supplies to the Ministry of Health and Sanitation to help in containing and eradicating the Ebola virus. Toiletries, rain boats, hospital beds and wheelchairs were amongst the items presented. Dr. Davison Kuyate presented the items on behalf of the group. This is ICANN TV News coming to you from Freetown.
The Door Christian Fellowship Church at Ferry Junction, east of the capital Freetown, donated assorted supplies towards the campaign against the deadly virus. Our reporter Zaina Moigua has this to say.
The Door Christian Fellowship Church at Ferry Junction, east of the capital Freetown, has donated assorted supplies towards the campaign against the Ebola virus. The items, which comprise protective gears, medicines, and food, were made available by Dr. Bob Hamilton of Lighthouse Medical Mission to Africa. Based in the United States of America, a team from the Door Christian Fellowship Church, led by head pastor Emerson Saffa, donated the supplies. At the Presidential Lodge at Hill Station, the team met with First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Sia Koroma, and presented the supplies to her for award presentation to groups or institutions she can identify. During the presentation, Pastor Saffa mentioned the efforts made by the First Lady and her team in the fight against the Ebola disease. He said it was in cognizance of that the church decided to present the supplies to the First Lady, as she was in a better position to identify those in need at this point in time. In her reaction, Madam Sia Koroma thanked the church and the providers of the supplies. She promised to have the various supplies distributed to the real beneficiaries. The team used the opportunity to offer prayers for the leadership of the country. As the Sierra Leonean managed two Ebola treatment centers named PTS-1 and PTS-2. Once police training centers transformed into hospitals, similar supplies were donated by the Dog Christian Fellowship Church. At the PTS-1 center, Pastor Emerson Saffa, on behalf of the church, and Dr. Hamilton presented the supplies. He said the gifts were meant to manifest the love of Jesus Christ. Dr. Santigi Sise of PTS-1 thanked the church for the gifts, which he described as very useful. He used the opportunity to inform the group of the district drop in recorded new infection cases. At PTS-2, a similar donation of supplies was made, and where Pastor Saffa made statements similar to the other places. 91 mining licenses have been withheld as a result of non-compliance with the Mines and Minerals Act. This was disclosed by the Inspector of Mines at the National Minerals Agency (NMA), Mohamed Ba, whilst on a meeting with a cross-section of mines at the Yamandu Court Barre Boima Chiefdom in the Bo district. The miners in question are said to be individuals and companies. 3 companies were said to be among the defaulters. That is the end of ICANN TV News. I am Zaina Moingwa Kamara in Freetown, handing you over to Master Saffa in New York.
An efficient and hard-working nurse, Masa Aliyu, who worked with Red Cross in the Kenema district to fight against the Ebola virus, has contracted the virus. She was scheduled to be married February 14, 2015 in Freetown. As a trained and knowledgeable director at the Ebola Treatment Center, she noticed the Ebola symptoms and restrained herself from the public. And on the 23rd of January, she was taken to the Carytown British Treatment Center and is now responding to treatment. As the cousin of ICANN TV CEO, on behalf of the management and staff, we wish her speedy recovery. And now to end ICANN TV News, here are the headlines again. Bont joins Pujehun and Kailahun in 42 days no Ebola race. Okada riders on strike. Bo praises former executive assistant to President Koroma. President Koroma praises troops who return home from Somalia. The Door Christian Fellowship Church donated supplies towards the fight against the Ebola virus. A nurse, scheduled to be married February 14th, contracted the Ebola virus while treating patients. And that ends ICANN TV News for today. Remember to check our website www.icantv.org for all the latest updates about our company. Master Saffa, ICANN TV News.